The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Blow up the neon light, Jimbo and Kyle take flight. 80s dreams are its delight, in the realm of black and white. Movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when the memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Nice outfit.
You look fine.
I didn't ask. I have given a name to my pain.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Where did you get those wonderful toys?
My life is really complex.
Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
All right, guys, welcome to the Tragedy of Cinema's 6th anniversary episode. I am your host, Jimbo.
I'm your co-host, Kyle.
Kyle, every year we do an anniversary show. We try to bring a movie that's just above and beyond some of the movies and of cultural significant value. And today we have decided on Batman. Not that. But before we get started, since this is our anniversary episode, I'd like to thank some people along the way that has made this podcast what it is. So first and foremost, we have to thank Jerry and Tracy Pauly. Jerry unfortunately died last Thanksgiving, and he left a big hole in the podcast community. But I remember when me and not even Terrence wasn't even the host then, me and the guy that I was going to do with this with at work, they took time out of their busy schedule and we went to Texas Roadhouse down there in Louisville, Kentucky. And I had known of podcasts, but I never knew how to set. There's so much involved into setting up a podcast, and they generously took their time and explained to me some stuff about the podcast world. And here we are 6 years later. So Jerry, you will be missed. And Tracy, we still love you. So thought we better throw that out there first and foremost, because it is probably the main reason that this podcast ever even started.
Absolutely.
Second, I'd like to thank Terrence, because without Terrence, I wouldn't have had a co-host at the beginning. And if you go back and listen to the early years of this podcast, especially like year 1 and 2, we overcome some bumps and obstacles along the way. But without Terrence, this wouldn't have, and his golden pipes, it wouldn't have took off like it did. So thanks, Terrence. Third, I'd like to thank ADZ. ADZ was a childhood friend, and because of this podcast, reconnected. So Eric, after 25 years, childhood friend, we had went on family vacations and everything together, and then he came aboard and started doing the Twilight Zone series with me. Really helped, throw out some more episodes for the podcast. So Eric, we love you, buddy. And then, of course, my dad, Art Toast. If you've known my dad, he's a character. And you know how he got his name, Kyle? He's an artist, right? Mm-hmm. And he was looking for a name. He's like, well, maybe I'll be Artist, but it was taken. So my nephew was at the breakfast table with him, and he's an artist, and he was eating toast. So he said, what about Art Toast? So that's how he got his name, Art Toast. So Dad, I love you. And if you want to hear my dad tell some of his funny stories, you can look back on the I Can't Believe That Was a Movie episodes, which we need to record some again soon. And you'll find out some stuff about my dad's early life. That's just hilarious. And he has me in stitches at the time. So love you, Dad. And yes, Kyle, you came in at number 5. I think that when you came on board that this podcast just went to a whole nother level. Your dedication and driving every other week, at least an hour and a half, at least.
Yeah, nowadays.
Without you coming and doing that, this podcast may not have survived as long as it did. You showed up like Batman just when we needed you the most. And, all kidding aside, we do have a good time. You've become a good friend. Because Kyle, actually, when I transferred over to the other plant for Ford Motor Company in Louisville, Kyle was actually the one that trained me on the job. Do you remember that, Kyle?
Yes.
Yeah, so everybody was like, oh, he's training you. Good luck. Yeah.
Fair.
But we've had it's something to be a coworker, but it means more when you become a friend.
Absolutely.
And I've always loved, even before we start recording, we ask how each other's doing, but then we'll go out to breakfast, and we'll just talk about stuff, family issues, work issues. Kyle's just an all-around a good guy. Oh. So Kyle, I'm gonna ask you this, because what people don't know is Kyle will be leaving the podcast, but it's not because I'm firing him or he's just because he hates doing it. He's actually going to better his life, and he's going to go back to school and become an engineer. I do believe is what his goal is to become.
Hopefully, to get higher education. For sure.
And at the age that he's at, it gets harder and harder. Trust me, I know. I tried to go back after we started having kids and everything, and it's really hard to balance that work life, school schedule. So, Kyle, good luck in your future endeavors. So, we are trying to. I'm trying to get with Kyle. We want to do like a going away show where people can write in or maybe even call in. We're working on something where we might have like a live show where you can call in, or maybe like a live Facebook or Zoom meeting with Kyle, so we can give Kyle the proper send off that he deserves. And he's not going to be gone for good, because if I have to drive down there, he is going to be on this podcast again. I just wanted to let him know.
I'll still be around to some degree as best I can be.
And I'm going to leave you on as the disclaimer. I think that's a way for you to, and I might not change the music either when the new host comes, because Jimbo and Kyle take flight. There's just something fun about that. But Kyle, I'm going to throw this question out to you, and this is just part of our anniversary. This has nothing to do with Batman. But Kyle, what are some of your favorite moments that have happened regarding the podcast since you've came aboard? And do you remember the first time you came on board? What movie was it?
Did we do the J.D. Still originally?
It was either that or War of the World or something. Well, it was something science fiction. I remember.
Still, because I said that was my favorite film. And I think you brought me on for that, and as a guest episode with Terrence. And I believe recorded that episode. And I think we did another movie as well. But yeah, some of my favorite movies for sure the Halloween shows we did with Jackie. Yeah, great time doing those. Going to a real place.
When you shaved your eyebrows in your head for Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester.
Classic.
Absolutely.
That will go down in the Hall of Fame of the tragedy of cinema.
Yeah, absolutely. A great time too. And as well as I'm sharing time with you for our morning breakfast before we recorded, or even after we recorded, having lunch like that too.
We have second breakfast after we record too.
Yeah. Sometimes go out for lunch after, of course. Some of these recordings last for several hours. So, by the time we're done, it's like, it's time for lunch now for sure. So yeah, a lot of members there to hang out with you, being a good friend to you, and enjoying your company for sure has been a great experience too. Meeting Terrence as well too. Terrence still, and Terrence kind of fell off the podcast, but we still communicate every now and again, and get to talk with each other. And so it's nice to see him every now and again. And in general, just having your company has been a delight and a great presence in my life. Truly.
So, what do you think was the funniest moment that you've been on the podcast so far?
The funniest moment I've been on the podcast so far, probably one of our last anniversary shows. We realized we recorded we were all set to record Harry Potter. And realized we already did it
The year before.
Literally, just the year before.
Yeah, he was so excited, like, oh yeah, let's do it. And I printed out this notebook or this telephone book of paper worth of notes.
We did all this work.
And I kept thinking, man, this seems familiar. Mm-hmm. This seems really familiar.
They come to find out. Vu.
Yeah. So I think another one would be the whole Predator debacle.
The Predator debacle.
We were recording the Predator as an anniversary show.
Yeah.
And it was a good one. I mean, the jokes were timed.
The best podcast you never heard.
And I deleted it somehow. So there was 2 movies we deleted, that and something else we recorded the same day. I said, Kyle, I've lost it. Kyle's like, what do you mean? I said, oh, it's gone. I said, I cannot find it.
What do you mean Predator's gone? That was the best episode ever.
Yeah. Oh, it was terrible. I still feel bad about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Stuff happens.
So
it's life.
As Kyle will be transitioning out of the podcast, the new co-host will be transitioning in, and it's going to be different because this new co-host is all the way in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping, I know he's a good guy, but I'm hoping the audio quality and everything still shows through. So the next person I'd like to thank is Jason Bond. If you listen to this podcast, he came on and we recorded Anaconda.
Yeah.
Which, if you know Bond is over the top too, but he was like a super fan. I didn't even think he existed because he was writing in on the Twilight Zone reviews, leaving us
positive
reviews.
to be real.
Yeah, like leaving reviews about the Twilight Zone, and I'm like, man, I was like, okay. I said, Eric, I don't know if this guy is real or not. I said, but you know what? I said, Bond, if you're out there, email me, message me. I said, I want to have you on next week. I said, because I don't think you're real. I think it's one of our friends like Kyle ribbing us, saying
something like that. Yeah.
I said, I want to see if you're real. And sure enough, he's like, yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm real. And yeah, that's my real name. I said, wow. Okay. So, but I think he's a good fit. He's older than I am. So, you know how I'm older than you. He's older than me. So we're going to have that same dimensional outlook on movies.
Yeah.
So
multifaceted stuff.
Can't wait to see where that goes. But you know, it's not just the people you work with; it's also people you meet along the way. And so these are some of the other podcasting friends that I have met along the way. Some of these people may not even know who I am, but you know, I've listened to their podcast because of Jerry and Tracy and Hillbilly Horror Stories, and I got in contact with some of these people. So I think it's really, really cool. So I got to say Tim Mullins and Sarah DeDonitis from, HH Media with the whole Hillbilly Horror House, where I was part of the audio drama that they did. And now they're working on Solo. And I can't remember the name of his new studio. It was HH Media, but I think it's like 41 studios or 40 studios or something. So be on the lookout. Go listen and subscribe to them. And then also probably the ones that have been the closest to us is probably Brett and Carl from the Evil Never Dies podcast.
Yeah,
we
Planet
did
of the Apes series. We did with them.
We did Planet of the Apes with Brett. We still got to finish some of that up, tidy that up.
Get around some time.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And Kyle's like, nah, I'm out of here. You're gonna have to have Bond take over.
Real talk for a minute. I was kind of advocating for, like, maybe we shouldn't do a television show. Maybe we should just keep on the movies.
Right.
I think we should go back to the movies and reignite that fire.
Passion. So you need to go check them out. The Evil Never Dies. They're kind of older than I am, but they're funny at times.
They're good guys. Yeah.
Good people, so
good people.
Really good people. So Brent and Carl, we love you there too. So then the fellows over at Middle Aged and Creeped Out, they were part of us and Jerry and Tracy at our first live show we ever did. And we did it twice with them. So Todd, Sean, and Nate.
Yeah, it was a pleasure seeing them.
They're good, great people too. And then there's some that they know me, or I know them, and they barely know me. So this Justin Rimmel with Mysterious Circumstance podcast, he's a great guy. He's helped me with a lot of questions I've had along the way too. Shane Waters, he does Foul Play, I think is the name of it now, but he was doing one about when I went to my first live show with Jerry and Hillbilly Horror Stories. It's him, Justin Rimmel with Mysterious Circumstances, and Shane Waters. And he told the story about if you ever go back and listen about, it's called the Red-Headed Murders. It's about prostitutes that were murdered down like through Tennessee along the stretch of interstate.
Oh gosh.
And they were prostitutes, and they don't have a name. They never identified them.
Jane Doe's.
But with through the help of him and him researching it out, they have actually identified like 5 out of the 7 or 9 women.
That's incredible.
And I remember that he had made crosses, and he went with their names, and he staked it into the ground where they were found. So that just stuck with me, and I think he's a really great guy. So and then you have Nick and Rob from Brohio. They know me as I always go to their shows, you know what I mean? But they are off the cuff. They're a different breed, if you will. Their comedy is kind of dark and humorous and unpolitically correct, if you will.
Yeah.
So
Different kind of audience for sure, but also well appreciated.
And then, we have some people that have become participants. Of course, the siren's going to come on our. We've recorded 2 other ones today, and of course, we haven't had a siren yet. But you know what? The siren's making
a day
this guest
can't go
appearance
by
on
without
the,
at least one siren
on the
during podcast.
6th anniversary show. What would it be like without it? That's what happens when you live a mile away from a hospital.
Yeah.
So these are some people that are always active in the Facebook. They've come on our real talks at times when we've had the Zooms. So these are some people. Sam Farrell. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's the one that helped set up our Facebook, the whole thing. He's administrator there. Yep. You have Natalie Knight, who did our awesome artwork for us for the podcast.
Yeah, it looks great.
We love Natalie. If you want to get a T-shirt with her designs on it, we have all 3 of our designs that she's done for us. She is like our go-to artist because I like the work she does, and she does a great job. And if you should see some of the stuff she's worked on, like video games, animation stuff. If you go to our Facebook page, type in Natalie Knight, it'll just go to her profile, and you'll see some of the stuff. Her drawings of like bunnies and all that. Yeah, she's a really great lady. So, and she's getting ready to get married. So, congratulations, Natalie.
Congratulations.
Then we have Tiffany Boots. Tiffany's always been there, been a great friend. Then kind of a newer person that's been kind of hopping into the podcast group is CK Donegan. He posts some funny stuff in there and some other movie-related trivia from some other YouTubers and stuff that I had never heard of. So I watched some of the stuff that he sends, and so I want to say thank you to CK. Then you had Christine Collier, all the way out in LA. Yeah. She's joined us for, what was the haunting
shows, and Planet of the Apes podcast, I believe. And some
live
shows doing that stuff.
Then you had Patrick Sheehan, who's an old friend from my old facility at Ford. And, I have Dave and Laura Martin. They've been my best friends. Patrick Goodnight, he's been on here. And then recently, Dustin Glenn Anderson. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. So, Dustin, and I'm going to throw Jackie Johnson in here too. So I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway, Kyle. It's my 6th anniversary, and by golly, I'm going to do it.
That's right.
So I'm going to tell this story. So I, of course, went to Jerry's funeral, if you will. Mm-hmm. And there was something about, you become friends with these people, but then you don't realize the impact you had on life. When he mentioned me from beyond the grave, because he recorded his own eulogy, and he said my name, I must have meant something to him. It was very personal, and I will take that stuff that happened there to the grave, because some of that stuff that was so personal and family oriented, it was a very loving and emotional time. At the end of that, I had seen Dustin at several live shows. He always come. He was up there with Jackie when we were doing the Elvis thing. He remembers the Elvis car down. Right? So we said, hey, Tim Mullins was there. I never met Tim, and Tiffany was there, and Sarah. And I said, hey, you guys let's go get some Texas Roadhouse. We went to Texas Roadhouse afterwards just to talk. And Sarah had to leave, but it was me, Tim, and Tiffany. We went, and Dustin sat next to me, and we just started talking. And we started talking about conspiracies like 9/11, JFK assassination, and all this stuff. So he's like, I always wanted to start a podcast. I said, do it. I said, it's not hard. I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Right?
So we started talking, and then, I said, well, if you want to do something, I said, I'll do it with you. I'll teach you the ways. Mm-hmm. He's like, okay. So next thing I know, Dustin's getting home. We're messaging each other, and we decided that we are going to do a podcast together. And it's going to be something different than the tragedy of cinema. It is going to be called Dark Discoveries. Okay. This will be things that cover conspiracies, cryptids, murders, missing children, Egyptology, whatever we want to talk about. We're going to talk about where we'll have bigger episodes. I'll tell you, like, one that's coming out probably at the beginning was Jack the Ripper, H.H. Holmes, the serial killer in America versus the serial killer over there in Whitechapel. So we're putting that all together, and we brought Jackie in too. So it's going to be me, Jackie, and Dustin when we release this. It's coming soon. We're working out some stuff next week to hammer out some final details to get an official release date, because we are getting together next week to record an episode for Hillbilly Horror Stories. We want to give something back to the Hillbilly Horror Stories and Tracy. We want to put out some new content for them, so we're gonna release something for that. So
that's great.
Be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for Dark Discoveries soon. So, but enough about Dark Discoveries. We are now jumping into our 6th anniversary show.
Yeah, that's right, Jimbo.
I forgot it's only about half hour right now. So,
You're fine.
but it's our anniversary show, Kyle.
Yeah, we got to dig into it.
Gosh darn it. This might be the last one you're on, so I'm taking my time.
Yeah.
No, Kyle's like, hurry up. We need a second breakfast. So, Kyle, let's take it away.
All right.
Batman.
All right, we're covering Batman.
Kyle, you got to do this in the Batman voice.
Where is she?
I said Batman,
I can't do
not the
Batman.
Penguin.
I can't do it. I can't get raspy enough. Can't do that Christian Bale voice. Oh my gosh. We're covering Batman, the original June 23rd, 1989 film. Following the story of the Dark Knight of Gotham City begins his war on crime, and the first major enemy being Jack Napier, a criminal who becomes the clownously evil, homicidal Joker. I almost said Joker. This film was directed by Tim Burton, written by Bob Kane for the Batman character, Sam Hamm for the story, and Warren Scarron for the screenplay. And producers were Peter Guber and John Peters. Composer was Danny Elfman. Cinematographer was Roger Pratt. Editor was Ray Lovejoy. Casting director was Marion Doherty. And production designer was Anton Furst. Let's see here. We have a plot summary of the film written by Grants here. Oh, actually, let's go to the budget of the film first. Budget first. That's right. I'm trying to get this order format down before I finally leave. Budget for the film was
Before you leave.
Before I leave.
That's all right. We'll change it when you leave.
Exactly. Budget of the film was $35 million in 1989. Pretty modest even for the time, I think, actually, for this film. And actually, once again, we talked about some other podcasts. It's a pretty modest budget for a film as beautiful as Batman is. Just for inflation, $35 million would be about $90.2 million today. Opening weekend, it made its money back, then some, with $40.5 million. Just for inflation, that'd be about $104.4 million. And then gross in U.S. and Canada, it made a whopping $251.4 million. Just for inflation, it'd be about $648.3 million. And that's just the U.S. and Canada. Once we get the gross worldwide, we make $411.6 million, Jimbo. Nearly $500 million. And then adjusted for inflation, that is $1.06 billion after inflation. That is insane money. Just absolutely incredible. Batman was a blockbuster to end blockbusters.
You weren't even born when this came out, were you?
No. I still had 4 years to go before I was born. Yeah, wow.
I remember my grandma taking me and my cousin to go see this.
Mm-hmm.
I was in awe.
Oh, it's an incredible movie, Jimbo. It really holds up incredibly well, too.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, so it's a huge film right there. So huge blockbuster, like in terms of budget and like return on investment. Like it is the film that makes Warner Brothers kind of what it is today in many respects. So Batman is just a huge film. All right, so plot summary of the film, written by a person calling himself Grants here. Gotham City crime boss Carl Gibson effectively runs a town, but there's a new crime fighter in town, Batman, played by Michael Keaton. Grissom's right-hand man is Jack Napier, played by Jack Nicholson, a brutal man who is entirely sane. After falling out between the two, Grissom has Napier set up with the police, and Napier falls into apparent death in a vat of chemicals. However, he soon reappears as the Joker and starts his reign of terror in Gotham City. Meanwhile, reporter Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, is in the city to do an article on Batman. She soon starts a relationship with Batman's everyday persona, billionaire Bruce Wayne. Moving on to the awards for the film, we have the 2022. We have the 1990 ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards, where it wins the award for Most Performed Songs from Motion Picture for Prince's song "The Party Man." Oh, just Party Man, not The Party Man. Party Man.
I think that's where Joker's dancing in the street with the
parade and everything going on there too. Yep, good song there. Amazing soundtrack with Danny Elfman as well too. Just a great soundtrack for this film.
And you know
Legendary.
what? I didn't realize this till I watched Batman again the other night. That the whole animated series has this.
Oh, uses the Danny Elfman score. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's a great series too. If you never watched
Batman the animated series is like
one of the best.
Definitive Batman for me. I think that's like even more than the comics. Like that is the definitive Batman and Batman animated series. Everything kind of derives from it.
Did you like what was the Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond. It was good. It was
different.
I think it made sense as a successor in many aspects, but at the same time too, it's like it's a different thing. It's its own beast in a way. I think some of the stuff they did, especially with the end of Batman Beyond, was a little bit controversial in my opinion, but that's a story of another time. But it was a good series overall. Batman the Animated Series, so it just really captured Batman perfectly in my opinion. So love that series to death, and as well as this film. Moving on to the second award here, we have the 1990 Academy Awards, where it won the Oscar for Best Art Direction and On-Set Decoration for Anton Furst and Peter Young. Then for the 1990 BMI Film and TV Awards, we have the award winning for Best Film Music Award to Danny Elfman. Then for the 1990 Brit Awards, we have the Best Soundtrack, once again to Danny Elfman. Then for the 1990 Golden Globes, we have a nomination for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture in Comedy or Musical, awarded to Jack Nicholson. So I wouldn't consider Batman to be necessarily a comedy, but it's definitely not a musical.
This one might have been. Because remember when Joker was coming in with the boombox and Bob's, they spray paint all that stuff.
Yeah, you got a point. It's fair enough. For the 1990 Grammy Awards, we have a nomination for Best Song Written Specifically for a Motion Picture for the song Party Man, once again written by Prince. And then we also have a nomination for Best Album of the Original Instrumental Background Score written for a Motion Picture by Danny Elfman. That concludes the awards for Batman. Going on some of the technical details here, we have a runtime of 126 minutes. We have a sound mix of 70mm 6-track Dolby Stereo for the DVD versions and the Dolby Digital for the Blu-ray release, and Dolby Atmos for the Blu-ray release, sorry. This is a color film. Aspect ratio is 1.85 by 1, and the laboratory was in Technicolor, London, UK. And negative format was 35mm Eastman 400T 5295. That's the technical details of the film. And production dates go from September 1988 to January 1989. So that's a quick turnaround for the editing of the film, especially. But the September to January part is that's a pretty long film schedule overall, especially for a limited budget of just $35 million even for the time. So that's some pretty impressive. Like they got a lot done for a pretty long stretch of time there. Pretty impressive overall. And then I messed up. I went to get the casting done before the awards. I messed it up again.
I'm glad you just wanted to nail that format down before you left.
Before I left. Exactly. It's okay. I haven't left yet, folks. I still have at least a few more.
Even though we wanted him to.
Exactly. Even though
4 years too late.
You can't get rid of me just yet. Whatever you say, Jimbo. All right, for the cast.
You're going to wake up one of these days and you're going, man, I miss Jimbo. I'm going to drive up there just so he can insult me to my face.
Exactly. I just miss him berating me specifically. Not even him, just miss him berating me. I just call him up one day. Can you just call me mean things? All right.
I could just be your notification when you get a message on your phone.
Exactly. Just send me a text every now and again. It's like, hey, I think you suck. Thanks, Jimbo. Not even playful, just
and
mean.
then 5 minutes later, still sucks.
All right, once again, the cast of Batman 1989. We have the legendary Michael Keaton playing the role of Batman / Bruce Wayne, one and the same.
Spoiler.
Sorry, folks. In case you didn't realize about Batman. Fun fact about Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Kyle, I have a question.
Their parents are dead.
Do you think Adam West could have pulled off Batman in this movie?
In this movie, Simply not. I think his time had kind of passed by then.
I think I have some stuff in the notes about it.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure it's kind of like Frank Sinatra and Die Hard kind of situation. It's like they offered the role, and he's on his walker, like what? Adam West is great. Yeah. Okay. Michael Keaton, of course, known for a variety of films, included Birdman in 2014, Mr. Mom. Of course, he's legendary in The Beetlejuice. I mentioned the movie Jack Frost, which is one of the first movies I watched when I was a little kid, where he becomes a snowman.
Do you want to be a snowman? And we can do it.
Excellent. So Michael Keaton, legendary actor in his own right. Then we have perhaps even more legendary actor in Jack Nicholson, playing the role of Jack Napier / the Joker, one and the same once again. In this case, at least, they kind of revised it where Joker was the person who murdered Batman's parents. Spoiler: Batman's dead. So, I know, shocking. Yeah. Spider-Man's Uncle Ben also dead.
Who?
Spider-Man's Uncle Ben.
Oh, allegedly.
Yeah. I heard Darth Vader. He's that Luke's guy's father.
Luke guy's father. So
You didn't hear it from me. I hate to spoil that for you.
So Felipe, I forgot to mention him in the thing. So
Yeah.
Felipe that did Three Amigos with us. We used to go watch movies all the time, and I'd buy like the DVDs, and we'd go watch them at my house or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember Hearts War came out, which was Bruce Willis, like World War II movie.
Yeah.
And me and Felipe are talking, and I hadn't watched it yet. And he's like, "Oh, Hearts War." He's like, "Oh yeah, Bruce Willis dies." He says, he says, or he gets shot, or he dies. It's something. He said he gets shot, and I said, "What man?" He said, "Don't worry." I said, "Well, he gets shot." He said he got shot in the chest or something. And I said, "Oh, does he survive?" He said, No, he got shot in the head. So I was like, well, thanks a lot, Felipe. I don't remember how the conversation, but I was like, oh, he dies. I was like,
brutal.
He said he got shot. I said, man, Felipe's brother. He said in the head. I was like, oh.
It's fantastic. I love it. You should just say that's the end to all movies.
Okay, wait a minute.
Just like,
I got to tell another Felipe story because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
He had a tracker, one of them little Jeep looking things with the, you
Jeep.
can pull back the lid like a Jeep.
Yeah.
And so we're going to see a movie. And I'm in his tracker. I said, Phil, how does this thing open? We were at a stoplight. I said, how does this thing open? He's like, well, Jimbo, bud. He's yelling at me. His little short arms trying to reach up there to unhook the thing. Well, as he did, his foot lifted off the clutch. He backed into a brand new,
oh my God,
still paper plated. I want to say it was like a Jaguar or something. It was like one of these really expensive. He's like, Jimbo, I'm going to kill you. I said, hey, I just want to know how it opened. I said, you're the one that hit the guy.
Oh my gosh.
So me and Felipe, we've been through a lot too.
Oh my
so
gosh, that's great.
We love you too, Felipe.
Yeah. You just be a good friend and still be friends with you after that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, good Felipe stories. Felipe's a good guy. Miss him. Okay, next up we have Kim Basinger playing the role of Vicky Vale. Kim Basinger was also in the film L.A. Confidential in 1997 and Wayne's World. Next up we got Rupert Wall playing the role of Alexander Knox. Rupert Wall was also in the film Arliss in 1996 and Good Morning Vietnam as well.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Actually, Jimbo, I can't read there. Jimbo, help me on notes on here. I can't read his handwriting. What's that? What's that right there?
The Bull Durham.
Bull Durham?
You ever seen Bull Durham?
Never heard of it.
You've never seen Bull Durham?
Never seen Bull Durham. I have to add the backlist of things I should watch someday.
We might have to put that on the list for next time.
I'm an uncultured swine, Jimbo.
It's a baseball movie.
Baseball. That's
I
probably
think it's
why.
Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon, I think.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. One of the podcasts I listen to called Remap Radio, they did doing a movie podcast recently. And recently they've been on a sports movie trick. So I've been watching movies for the first time. They're sports movies. Like we watched, they started with Hoosiers, which I had seen before, but then they went on like Rudy, and now they're doing a bunch of other films. So it's just like they watched 80 for Brady, which I never watched before. So I watched that film for the first time. So I've been watching sports movies for the first time in like my life, really, because I'm not really a big sports fan. But that's been an interesting road. So yeah, it's been a lot. So maybe I'll add Bill Durham. Was it Bull Durham?
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham. Okay, I'm going to add to the backlist of sports movies I need to watch or recommend to people. Yeah,
Kyle, how many sports movies have you actually watched besides
the ones I just
Longest
mentioned?
Yard that we just watched?
Probably less than a dozen.
Major League?
No, you can just probably quiz me how much movies I haven't seen them. Yeah,
Ready to Rumble. No Holds Barred.
Ready to Rumble I've watched. Wasn't that the wrestling movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ready to Rumble, so I've watched that. I would call that sports
Hoosiers.
movie.
Have you ever watched Hoosiers?
I did watch Hoosiers.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I did mention Hoosiers in the Remap Radio thing. So I've seen Hoosiers. Yeah. But most sports movies I don't really bother with. Just because I'm not a sports fan. Just never really have been. Nothing against sports, but just never been like I don't know. I never have that I don't have that team identity. I never had it. I don't know why, Jimbo. It's weird. But anyways, hang on to the cast here again. We have Pat Hingle playing the role of Commissioner Gordon. Pat Hingle was in one of the a great film called The Quick and the Dead in 1995. Next up, we have legendary Billy D. Williams playing Harvey Dent. Billy D. Williams is, of course, best known for his role as Lando in the Star Wars original trilogy.
What was Lando's last name?
Calrissian, good sir.
All right. You actually know something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was also in Command and Conquer 3: Tiberium Wars.
Yeah, I remember that. And he also did Colt 45 commercials back in the day. Malt liquor. I met Billy D. Williams.
You did?
Celebration.
Did you get his autograph?
Yeah, I think it's hanging right there on the wall.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I think it was Celebration 2 down here in Indianapolis. Oh,
It's
somebody
a
got hurt
siren
again.
time today.
And when I went down there, it looked like he was having a bad day, dude, because he had his sunglasses on inside the convention center and he had his hand on his head on the table like this.
One of those days.
And people are bringing him like Colt 45 to sign. I just want you as the skiff guard. And
Yeah. But it seems like everything I heard about him, he's a cool guy. So cool stuff. Billy D. Williams is cool. I like him. Next up, we have Michael Goff playing the role of Alfred. Michael Goff. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Goff. I believe it's Michael Goff. Best known for basically this role in the film as Alfred. And also he was in the film Top Secret as well. And as well as Batman and Robin in 1997. So he kind of reprised his role. He continued on the films even past when Michael Keaton wasn't playing Batman. So good for him on that. He had a gig and he stuck with it. Next up, we have Jerry Hall playing Alicia. Jerry Hall was also in the film Free Jack in 1992. Then we have Tracy Walter playing Bob the Goon. Tracy Walter was in the film Repo Man in 1984.
we love Bob the Goon.
And he's also in Conan the Destroyer. Oh my gosh.
That's a different movie.
Yeah.
Con Man the Barbarian.
Conan the Destroyer, and I Spit on Your Grave. So classic films right there. And then the last two here, we'll have Lee Wallace playing the mayor. Lee Wallace was in one of my personal favorite films, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, 1974. That film has a messed up ending.
Movie?
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They remade that, though.
They remade it with John Travolta and Denzel Washington. It was actually a really good remake. But the original was also pretty messed up, too. It had a Walter Matthau in it, as well as a couple other big-name actors at the time. Excellent film. Well worth watching sometime. And maybe I'll do a podcast about that someday.
Add it to the list.
Add to the list.
That when I'm not here.
And when I'm not here, a bunch of movies I still kind of want to do a podcast for if they're really easy in my life and convenient, but they're not anymore. Sorry. Next up, we have William Hootkins playing the role of Edgar. Edgar Hootkins was also in the film Star Wars, a little known film, little independent film, Star Wars Episode New Hope in 1977. And that's going to conclude the cast list for Batman 1989. So, Jimbo, now we can move on to the trivia.
And boy, do we have a lot of trivia.
I know.
So, Kyle, do you want me to give you some of these?
Give me some pages, Jimbo.
Smack you with this is like the tortilla challenge where I just
smack me in the face with it. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hurt the paper.
Because the paper has more value.
Okay, here we go. So,
we'll take the first one.
hey, I have a question for you.
I have answers for you, Jimbo.
Vicky Vale was
attractive.
Obviously,
yes. Oh.
Obviously, she knows Batman's identity in this, right? Because Alfred at the end, he's like, Master Bruce said he'll be late today. Does it explain in Batman Returns where she is?
I don't think so.
Does it say something? If I remember correctly, there's something about didn't work out or something, because that's when he gets in with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Also very attractive.
Yeah, I like Michelle Pfeiffer. I seen it. I think I might have posted on the Facebook where she went and seen her costume again. That was in the glass case. So,
that's awesome. No, not to my knowledge. I don't think they actually talk much about Vicky Vale. But yeah, I think they just say as much like it just didn't work out and they split ways.
I do think they mentioned it. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't.
She probably went to Metropolis.
Dating a little guy known as Superman. Oh, sorry. Clark Kent.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. This is this trivia right here. This is some of the stuff that you don't really think about till you start thinking back like, wow, that took this long. So the first draft of this movie, Kyle, was written in 1980 by Superman co-writer Tom Mankiewicz and told the story of Batman and Robin's origins. The villains were going to be the Joker and the Penguin, and Rupert Thorne and Barbara Gordon were also to appear. So they were going to have Batgirl in there too.
Oh, wow.
Burton didn't get the green light film for this until the box office result of Beetlejuice. This movie began filming in October. It only took 12 weeks to shoot this movie. Wow. But I mean, can you imagine if they came right out of the gate with Batman and Robin and Batgirl and Joker and the Penguin? I mean,
filling out the universe that fast. I mean, like,
I wish we would have had more Tim Burton Batman movies because they look so cartoony. They're awesome.
Yeah, no, they're incredible in many ways.
And the thing that I really, if there's one thing I could go back and change, I wish Michael Keaton would have done all of them. Stayed Batman the entire time. I think Michael Keaton is the best Batman / Bruce Wayne combo that they have. Mm-hmm. Christian Bale did good.
Yeah.
Adam West did good.
Yeah.
But if I'm going for who's the best Bruce Wayne, who's the best Batman, I think Val Kilmer did a really, really good job as Batman. Bruce Wayne, not so much. Batman, yes.
Yeah.
George Clooney, they can take his and throw it in the trash dumpster fire for all that matters because when I had zero desire to see
on
him.
George Clooney's part.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I entirely agree with you on there. Val Kilmer, did a great Batman and didn't quite sell it as Bruce Wayne. But Michael Keaton did the best job of playing both believably as both characters being who they are. And it's an underrated how difficult of a role Batman and Bruce Wayne are as characters being played. I think Christian Bale did an excellent job of doing his own take on those kind of things, but as well too, I think it's mostly a Batman-centric story where Bruce Wayne is kind of a passenger to the Batman's kind of reality. And I think I'm very curious to see kind of how those shoes get filled in the near future with kind of James Gunn's DCU kind of stuff going forward. And kind of curious to see how that goes too, and hopefully they have a good relationship with Superman. But very curious to see how it goes. Michael Keaton here really knocked it out in the park and set a huge.
So, are you saying that you think Michael Keaton was great casting as Batman and Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, the casting of him caused a controversy amongst comic book fans.
Oh,
with 50,000 protest letters sent to Warner Brothers offices.
50,000 letters?
Bob Kane, Sam Hamm, and Michael E. Uslan also heavily questioned the casting. You have the creator of Batman questioning why Michael Keaton was cast.
The creator of Batman, I would take very, very seriously.
Right. I would have been
Batman. I wouldn't take seriously at all.
Well, I mean,
if there's one person who shouldn't cast things, it's fans. That's true in all media. I think. Yeah,
you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain, right?
Exactly.
So Kim Basinger was the original choice to play Vicky Vale, but her agents wouldn't let producer John Peters meet with her unless he made her an offer. And then she ended up being busy, so Sean Young was cast instead. But then Young broke her collarbone while practicing horseback riding for a scene set on the grounds of Wayne Manor and had to drop out of the movie. Basinger received an emergency call 1 week before the commencement of filming and accepted the part.
Wow. Short notice for sure.
So would you we're not going to take this role unless you make me an offer. I'm not going to audition unless you make me an offer when I do it. That's kind of...
It's a hardball.
Yeah. Then, we need you. Come on, whatever you want. Jack Nicholson convinced the filmmakers to cast his close friend Tracy Walter, and he played Bob the Goon.
Bob the Goon.
Bob Gunn.
Bob Goon.
No, Bob the Gun. Remember, he's like Bob Gunn. He takes out, shoots Bob.
Yep.
That's sad. Bob, look what you made me do. Tim Burton hired Danny Elfman to compose a music score, iconic score that it is. Again, they were skeptical of hiring Elfman, but was later convinced when he heard the opening number, which if you listen to it now, it's amazing and it's cast into that Batman the Animated Series. It's iconic.
Yeah.
In order to combat negative rumors about the production, a theatrical trailer was hastily assembled to be distributed to theaters. To test its effectiveness, Warner Brothers executives showed it at a theater in Westwood, California, to an unsuspecting audience. The 90-second trailer received a standing ovation. Later, it would become a popular bootleg at comic book conventions.
That's incredible. Bootlegging a trailer. That's fantastic.
I would like to see it.
Yeah, I bet. No, the trailer is going to be on YouTube somewhere.
This movie was released the year of the 50th anniversary of Batman, the character. George Michael, you know who George Michael is?
Yeah, performer.
Okay. And Michael Jackson.
Also a performer.
Originally supposed to be Batman and Robin. No. Originally both considered for contributions to the film soundtrack, in addition to Prince, with the latter being considered for the film's love theme, while Prince wrote songs for the Joker. Jackson turned down the opportunity though, due to his commitments. So that would have been cool to see a Michael Jackson song of Batman.
That would have been amazing. I'm sure would have done a great job. He also didn't Michael Jackson also want to, like, he was going to be Spider-Man at one point, right? Something crazy like that. I want to say that was actually a real life story where, like, he was actually going to, like, they were going to do a Spider-Man movie where Michael Jackson was going to play Spider-Man. I think it was something like as ridiculous as that, because I was
Kyle, are you setting
like,
me up for a joke here?
No,
because I can
really
make a lot of jokes right here.
I want to say that was like, because like I think I was originally going to just say like it was just the soundtrack. But like, no, I think actually they wanted Michael Jackson to play Spider-Man, and that was like the craziest thing ever. I'll look it up to make sure it's real, but I want to say
I'd rather see him play Robin. All right, Kyle, this is another one of those iconic things that Jack Nicholson did. Are you ready?
Yes.
Jack Nicholson received a percentage of the gross on this film, and due to its massive box office stake, he took home around $60 million. Adjusting for inflation, this equals to roughly $143.4 million in 2022.
Gosh.
So he voted to, I'll just take a percentage. I think Bruce Willis did that in Sixth Sense, if I remember right. And it just...
I remember, Matt Damon, he declined the percentage gross of Avatar. He was going to be the main star of Avatar, and he declined taking a percentage. I think it was like some crazy, like 1/10 of the money. Like he's literally turned down the most money of any Hollywood actor in his entire career.
Would you feel sick?
Oh, I would. Just every day, just, oh my God. I said no to being a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire, just to be the main star of Avatar. Yeah, so you climb more money. I looked it up real quick, and it very much, well, granted, it's Google's AI overview, which I don't trust. But in the early 1990s, Michael Jackson reportedly attempted to acquire Marvel Comics in general, with the primary intention of playing Spider-Man in a movie. So I'm pretty sure that was a real thing that actually happened. Michael Jackson tried to acquire Marvel Comics just so he could play Spider-Man in a movie.
Oh, that's why he was hanging his baby out the balcony window. Spider-Man. At 58 minutes and 23 seconds, the flag of Gotham City seen in Harvey Dent's office closely resembles the state flag of Indiana.
Oh, cool.
Blue background, yellow stars, and the torch.
He's a Hoosier. Harvey Dent's a Hoosier.
Harvey Dent's a Hoosier. Yeah. Good man. In the original script, the paper for which Knox and Vicky worked for was the Gotham Gazette, the actual newspaper from the comics. Tim Burton does have a director's cameo. He about 1 hour and 1 minute into the film, he's one of the Joker goons in the museum scene, which is funny.
It's great.
He goes around spray painting. He's like, no, not that one. For its first video release, the film was graded slightly higher, as cinema audience had complained that it was filmed so dark that they could hardly see what was going on, which a lot of Batman is dark.
Mm-hmm.
At around 30 minutes in the newsroom scene, Vicky Vale and Alexander Knox examine a map of Gotham City, which has been marked with Batman sightings. The map is actually a map of Vancouver, British Columbia, that has been rotated 90 degrees, putting north on the left hand side of the screen. So it's British Columbia turned Gotham City.
Nice. I like it.
The Batmobile, which is a cool Batmobile, by the way,
legendary,
was built on the chassis of a Chevy Impala, incorporated the engine of an Impala, the tail lights of a Ferrari, and the fuel caps of a London bus, and jet engine parts from a Harrier jump jet. The sliding cockpit was also inspired by that of a Harrier, with the slim windows of a gun emplacement. Art director Terry Ackland Snow added the headlights of a Honda Civic to the vehicle after noticing them on his wife's car.
Just make it look ridiculous. I love it. It's a great, ridiculous looking car.
At around 1 hour and 3 minutes, the painting that the Joker spares during his vandalism spree is Francis Bacon's 1954 Figure with Meat. The real painting is in the permanent collection of the Art Institute of Chicago. The painting would also be featured in the Joker movie. So,
all right. I'll probably need to do like 3 pages here because we only have like a couple notes on each page. So, Michelle Pfeiffer, who was dating Michael Keaton at the time, was asked to audition for Vicky Vale, but Keaton was against it, saying it would be awkward. Pfeiffer would later be cast alongside Keaton as Selena Kyle in Catwoman in Batman Returns after the relationship had ended.
That's like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, worst possible
Hey, be Vicky Vale. Nah. We're really.
Like, what if we break up? Well, it'd be really awkward.
Okay, you can play Catwoman.
Pick Catwoman years later. That's hilarious. The studio wanted John Williams to work on the film's music. Of course, I want John Williams to work on our score too.
I want John Williams working on my podcast
I want
score.
John Williams working on everything. Yeah. Dude, I'll never have a moment where like, John Williams, like, just like the only thing I wouldn't have him do, like, paint your house. Like, nah, I don't want to compose music.
I want him to compose music while I'm painting my house.
Exactly.
Kyle, why does your painting look like a bat?
Fantastic. Tim Burton said being in a used dark tank chemical plant wasn't the most fun. Oh, really? You wouldn't say that. Tim Burton was pretty much sick every day working on the movie, so sad for him on that thing. Tracy Walter, Bob the Goon, often jokes in hindsight that this film that immortalized him, but his character having an action figure with a power kick. That's fantastic.
Kyle, you need the Bob the Goon.
Bob the Goon action
kick.
figure, yeah.
You have to look on eBay to see how much a Bob the Goon
power kick ability. It's probably like $50, I'm going to bet. You have to check it out now. I found the Bob the Goon action figure. Yeah. Jack Nicholson got into the habit of signing his Joker gloves and giving them away as gifts to visitors on the set, much to the chagrin of the costume designer, Bob Ringwood. Ringwood then asked Nicholson to cease giving out the gloves, and although he promised that he would, kept doing it. New gloves were constantly being made throughout the filming. Ringwood estimated there must have been hundreds of signed Nicholson Joker gloves out there. I feel like that's got to be like a fake thing they sell now at Comic-Cons or something like that too. These were gloves signed by Jack Nicholson, but really they're just green gloves.
All right, Kyle, you ready?
Yes.
Vintage Bob the Goon Batman movie sealed carded action figure Toy Biz 1989 with power kick.
$1,000.
$34.99. You can have a Bob the Goon.
Wow. Okay.
Kyle's going to buy this,
I
aren't you,
might buy
Kyle?
a Bob the Goon action figure.
With super kick.
Got me in the market now. You know, I got Mother's Day.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Here's another one. Bob the Goon with the Joker on the card.
Oh, snap.
$44.95. You can get both of them.
Batman, I can get Joker and Bob the Goon. Oh, man, my two favorite Batman characters, Bob and Joker. Oh, that's fantastic. That's good. Bob the Goon. I mean, by the time of this recording, it's Mother's Day is coming up, so.
Look what I got you, Mom.
Bob the Goon, your favorite. Love you.
I think Bob the Goon deserves his place in the studio here. He might be in here somewhere. He might be hung up in here.
Might get Bob the Goon somewhere. Yeah, just put him on the ceiling.
Bob, silly.
Bob on the ceiling.
I should get the. I used to have the.
What you have?
The Batwing.
The Batwing thing?
It was really cool.
The bat symbol.
You get it up there and have Bob the Goon hanging off of it or something.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, just hanging out there by his ankle. It'd be good.
No, that'd be the Joker on the statue. Remember the statue? That'd
be good.
The gargoyle.
I like it. In 1997, interview B-movie queen Julia Strain said she and her husband, Kevin Eastman, creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bought one of the 5 Batmobiles built for the movie. She said, "There's this guy at our gym, Mike Eisenberg, who collects that kind of memorabilia. I've done modeling for his wife, so we know each other well. And we heard that we collect that kind of stuff. He told us about an auction where one of the Batmobiles was on the block. So we went and bid for it, and David Copperfield actually got it. But Warner Bros. Wouldn't let him make Claudia Schiffer disappear in it. So he gave it back, and we got it for the original low price, which could buy most people a house. The only drawback is there's only a 5-gallon gas tank in it, and there's only a 5-gallon gas tank in it with all the other mechanical stuff in there. So we only can drive for like one gas station to the next, but it still looks pretty cool doing it."
Can you imagine? That'd be awesome.
5-gallon gas tank in a Batmobile. That's ridiculous.
Would you take that Batmobile, or would you take like the '66 Batmobile?
No, I like Christian Bale's like the tank,
the Rumbler, the Tumbler thing.
Tumbler. I think it looks ridiculous.
Trash.
I described it to my brother as a Lamborghini style tank. I think it's hilarious. I think it looks like the dumbest thing in the world, but also kind of amazing. So I like that one probably the most, maybe. Actually, the new Batman, that whole like muscle car that just retrofitted with a jet engine looks pretty great too. I love that as well. So I'm curious to see what the new Batman Part 2. Hopefully, with the new Batmobile. Tim Burton considered Brad Dourif to play Jack Napier and the Joker, but the production team wanted someone more mature looking and chosen Jack Nicholson, who definitely looked mature. The man's been old for like 50 years. With whom Dourif starred in The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with. Yeah, Jack Nicholson always looked old to me. Even when he was young, he looked old.
Even like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he looked pretty old.
Yeah,
he was probably like 23
Even
years.
He was like my age probably in that movie.
The initial inspiration for the Joker's face was brought to life by Bob Kane as by what silent movie? Do you remember? Played by Conrad Veidt.
gosh, like
The Man Who Laughs. He
Yep,
looks
thank
really
you.
crazy
Yep.
if you see him. Jack Nicholson said of his role, the thing I like about the Joker is that his sense of humor is completely tasteless. He later said the Joker was one of his favorite roles he's ever played. It probably made him the most money, too.
oh yeah, sure, huge money.
The only actor who appear in all 4 Burton and Schumacher films are Pat Hingle, who is Commissioner Gordon, and Michael Alfred. They both played in all 4 movies.
Yeah.
Adam West, here we go, who was, of course, the original Batman,
Yeah.
admitted that he was disappointed that he was not asked to reprise the role in the movie. He was 61 years old in
Yeah.
1989. Also, in his 1994 autobiography, he stated that despite belief to the contrary, he was never even asked to make a cameo appearance as Thomas Wayne, which would have been cool, but adding that he would have declined the role if it were offered to him. West later provided the voice of the Gray Ghost in Beware the Gray Ghost. It would have been cool if he would have played Batman's dad in this and got shot on the screen, I think.
Or even like I could
A
have seen him
cameo as a
make
goon or something.
I could have seen him possibly playing Alfred or something like that too as well.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but at the same time, Adam West, he perhaps seemed a little too prideful in his Batman contributions to accept a role like that. So I can never really see it happening. But it's unfortunate they couldn't get him for that kind of role at least.
Right.
Although I think it was absolutely the right call not to make him the lead star in this film when he was 61 at the time, do an action star kind of role. It's just not
Ludicrous.
I would say ludicrous, but of course they brought back Michael Keaton to play Batman in the Flash. So it's like, what is ridiculous now?
Paul Burchard, who has a minor role in this movie, also played a cop in The Dark Knight. At around 35 minutes, the surgical tools used to reconstruct the Joker's face are the same props as the dental tools used by Steve Martin on Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, cool.
Coincidentally, Jack Nicholson also appeared in the original The Little Shop of Horrors in Murray's role. Michael Keaton was unable to hear while wearing the bat suit. He said that his claustrophobia helped get him in the proper mood to play Batman. It made me go inward, and that's how I wanted the character to go anyway, to be withdrawn, he said. At around 13 minutes at the beginning of the film, Knox enters the press room and is handed a cartoonish sketch of Batman, which is a bat in a pinstripe suit. It is signed by Bob Kane, who is the co-creator of the Batman comic book.
Awesome. Okay, the police file on Jack Napier lists his date of birth as April 22nd, 1937, which is Jack Nicholson's actual date of birth. Cool. Jack Nicholson accepted a salary of $6 million for doing this movie, even though his average salary was $10 million, with a clause that he would take a percentage of earnings and merchandise on the unproven franchise. He made over $50 million, or the equivalent of about $100 million in today's money, just from that one decision to make the percentage of the film, which actually we covered a little earlier, but still over $100 million of value basically today. Just insane.
Wouldn't you like just to have $1 million? You got to have $100 million.
It's always kind of a shock to me. It's just like, what do you do after you make that kind of retirement money? I just I don't even know. It's like wow, like Jack Nicholson could have done anything. He could have sold perfume or something like that. Like
Perfume.
But instead, he chose to keep acting, which is acting must be a lot of fun. But at the same time, it's just if I made $100 million, you'd never see me again.
Well, I think it was Patrick Ewing that was a basketball player, and he said, we make a lot, but we spend a lot. So
Yeah.
I was like, I think if you have it, you probably spend more than you think you do.
Yeah, you get expensive habits, I'm sure.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just I'd always think if I made that kind of money, I would just kind of disappear off the face of the earth.
Waiter,
Yeah.
cut my lobster and feed it to me. Dip it in butter sauce.
I'm too busy relaxing for the rest of my life. I'm too busy relaxing for the rest of my life to do anything of consequence. So that's where I would be if I became absurdly wealthy.
But I'm sure a lot of these people donate to charities a lot. Too,
Oh yeah,
so.
charities, things like that too. There's a lot of things you can do, and I'm sure the actuality, if I came to a lot of money, I would actually do things still. But it's always surprising to me to see that kind of be the case. Where it's like, you made $100 million and you're still working. What?
Bob Kane was scheduled to be in this film in a cameo, but he became really ill, and the shooting of the scene was not rescheduled. But he did actually cameo in Batman Forever.
Oh, that's good.
I never knew that. Did you?
Cool. No, I had no idea. Kim Basinger is seen taking off her shoes for no apparent reason while exiting the Batmobile. It's actually due to the fact that she was scraping the paint while getting out. The paint was imported from Japan and was very sensitive, so it kept needing to be resprayed. The bell tower pulley forms the shape of a bat. When Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne are walking around Wayne Manor, Kim Basinger pulls off her shoes and remarks, "My feet are killing me." This was ad-libbed by the actress because of her 3-inch heels she was wearing were in fact hurting her feet. That makes sense.
Kyle's feet hurts when he wears 3-inch heels too.
Exactly. It's obscene. You'd have blisters as a pancakes by the end of the day. It's
Kyle,
ridiculous.
this is the only live action Batman film to feature only one supervillain from the comics. I think all the other ones have
Supervillain.
two or more.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, yeah, because
The new one, the Batman, it had the Riddler and had the Penguin, right?
yes,
for a little bit.
Penguin and Riddler, and yeah, and supposedly the next one might have was it Mr. Freeze?
All right, Kyle. Robin Williams was offered the role of the Joker when Jack Nicholson hesitated. He had even accepted the role. When producers approached Nicholson again and told him Williams would take the part if he did not, Nicholson took the role, and Williams was released. Williams resented being used as bait and not only refused to play Riddler in Batman Forever, but also refused to be involved in any Warner Brothers productions until the studio apologized. His next project with the studio would be Father's Day.
Yeah.
We could have had a world where you had Robin Williams as the Joker or the Riddler.
Or the Riddler, yeah.
Both would have been...
Yeah.
I wish you would have played both of them. That'd been really cool too.
I entirely understand Robin Williams feeling hurt by that being used as bait and like as a bait, basically like that. Absolutely terrible. We didn't get a chance to see him in a Batman centric role or him playing like a devious kind of funny person because like he would have done it obviously so well. And there's no doubt Robin Williams would have knocked it out of the park whatever he did.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And it's not even a debate. Where the kids like, oh, I can't really see it. Like, no, I can absolutely see it.
Jim
That'd be
Carrey
really
did
great.
good as the Riddler. A little over the top though. You know what I mean? Like it was different.
Jim Carrey did a great performance. Jack Nicholson did a great performance here, but Robin Williams is just he's Robin
Right.
Williams. He's just, guy can do no wrong for
Well,
the most part.
Turning down the role of Alexander Knox, Steve Martin and Daniel Stern, they both turned it down. Martin later turned down the role of the Riddler in Batman Forever as well. So, I mean,
Yeah, Steve Martin would have
Martin did good too.
Steve
I think it
Martin.
would have been better Two-Face, I think.
Then Tommy Lee Jones. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then Martin Short as the Riddler.
Oh, boy,
yes.
the banter they would have. Oh,
Yep.
that'd be hilarious.
Upon release, it became both the highest grossing Batman movie and the highest grossing film adaptation of any DC Comics character. Both records were eventually surpassed by The Dark Knight.
I'm cackling at the idea of Martin Short as the Riddler. He would have knocked.
I
that
know
out.
he would.
That would have
Martin
been
Short's one of my
amazing.
favorites of all time.
Oh, man, yeah, Martin Short. Oh man, the guy has too few movies for as amazing and as funny as he is. He's great. Martin Short's amazing. I love him.
Only Murders in the Building, great TV show. If you haven't watched it,
I'm on season 3 of that show.
Do you like
I
it?
actually started watching it for the first time.
You like it?
It's great. I love it.
it's so awesome, ain't it? Especially when you have a podcast and they're doing podcast stuff.
It's great.
I just really think
Perfect
it's
show.
good. Yep.
Really great.
Jack Nicholson revealed in an interview that the strange dance the Joker does when he exits Vicky Vale's apartment when he raises his arms and makes a farting noise and runs off was something called the bird dance, which he improvised during the take. He took it from his friend of his, Clegg Hoyt.
Despite causing a huge renewal of interest in the Batman franchise, Burgess Meredith, and Burt Ward were the only cast members from the Batman TV show to attend the premiere.
You know who Burgess Meredith was in the original, right?
Actually, was she Catwoman? Or
Burgess Meredith.
I don't know. I didn't.
Burgess Meredith was the Penguin.
Oh my gosh.
From
I thought Burgess was a
1966.
female name. I didn't know. I didn't watch.
Kyle, he was also the father in Grumpy Old Men. Remember where he dies on the thing?
That's the guy.
That's
Okay.
Burgess Meredith.
I'm sorry, I thought Burgess was a female
when
name.
when he goes to the grocery store, he's like, "Hey there, you wanna
Yeah.
you wanna come to my island? Come on, I wanna lay
No,
you." You know that
face,
guy?
I know who it is.
Okay,
Yeah, but
that is not a female.
I thought Burgess was a female name. Sorry. Yeah, that's terrible. My bad. I didn't watch much of the Adam West TV show. Really, I see clips on YouTube. That's the best much I've seen of the Adam West TV show.
He played the perfect Penguin, though.
That's fantastic. Catherine O'Hara, fresh from Beetlejuice and from another Tim Burton Michael Keaton film, was announced in the trades as having a role in the film before it was released, but did not end up in the finished film. Batman featured a character named Chief O'Hara, though.
Yep. Had the Batwing been built to size, it would have had a 35-foot wingspan. The Batcave was created on Pinewood Stage D and completely filled its 18,150 square feet. Neither Tim Burton nor Michael Keaton had any previous exposure to the Batman comic books. How in the world is that even possible?
Well, you got to think.
Yeah,
Comic books were just not as popular as they were back then.
Burton was given every issue of Batman's first year in comics before Robin was introduced, Detective Comics number 27, May from 1939, through number 37, March 1940, while Keaton was given the graphic novel The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think like before Batman 1989, like comic books were still considered kind of a niche hobby for the most part.
It took 2 hours for the makeup artist to change Jack Nicholson into the Joker. 355 silicone adhesives had to be used due to Nicholson's allergy to spirit gum. Prosthetic makeup designer Nick Dedman used acrylic-based makeup paint called Pax for Nicholson's chalk white face. It was tricky finding the right shade of white in contrast to the dark sets and lighting, since a pure white would blow out the brightness and flatten the contrast in Nicholson's face. Before signing his contract, Jack Nicholson demanded approval over the makeup designer and his designs. The designer of the Joker makeup turned out to be Nick Dedman. He sculpted 6 Joker designs, 2 of which were chosen by him and Tim Burton and sent to Nicholson. After approving one design, Nicholson signed the contract. Oh, here you go. You know who the first choice to play the role of Bruce Wayne, Batman?
Who was first choice?
Mel Gibson.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Because he was already committed to Lethal Weapon 2. He would eventually consider to play Harvey Dent in Batman Forever, but was forced to turn down due to commitment to Braveheart. So could Mel Gibson have pulled it off?
So the problem is, it's the Mel Gibson I know now is coloring my idea of what Mel Gibson would have been.
He's a great actor. He really is.
He's also crazy.
But he's a great actor.
You're right. You're right.
I think
a lot of crazy people are good
I
actors.
think he could have been a great Bruce Wayne.
I would have been curious to see it. I'll give him
Well,
that much.
here, this one will get you too then. So this fella, a little guy named Pierce Brosnan, met with Tim Burton to play Batman, but he turned it down because I just couldn't really take it seriously. Any man who wears his underpants outside his pants just cannot be taken seriously. That was my foolish take on it. It was a joke, I thought. But how wrong was I? Don't get me wrong, because I love Batman and I grew up on Batman. As a kid in Ireland, we used to get in our raincoats and tie them around our necks and swing through the bicycle shed. Burton and Brosnan ended up working together on Mars Attacks, and Brosnan later was cast in another DC hero, Dr. Fate and Black Adam.
Okay, Brosnan would have knocked
Bruce Wayne
out of the park.
Because he played James Bond, you know what I mean?
So naturally. Yeah. He would have worn that like a glove. But
Batman? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. My guess is probably not.
Well,
but,
here we go. Let me get through this page.
Okay, go for it.
Bill Murray was rumored to have been attached to a comedic iteration of the film by Ivan Reitman. However, while promoting Quick Change on episode dated 13th of July 1990, he denied ever being considered for the role, rendering his alleged idea of Batman film non-existent. Okay. For this, Ivan Reitman was going to direct a comedy of Batman, right?
Yeah, Ivan Reitman, yeah.
So for the role of Robin, Michael J. Fox.
No, I can see it. Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's Batman?
Robin.
Oh, Eddie Murphy is Robin.
In the comedy.
I mean, choice of ethnicity aside, I guess he could do a good job.
To prepare for his role, Michael Keaton did some research about Bats, studied Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns for inspiration, and lived alone in London before production started.
Cool. All right. A lot of people wonder how Batman managed to miss a Joker several times with delivery on his Batwing. The storyboards for that scene, as presented in the film's making of book, show that Joker was meant to dance around the bullets. For whatever reason, they decided that Joker's remaining stationary in a phase worked better because it's more imposing. It looked cooler. But still, it's right. It makes no sense that Batman couldn't, murder him. But also, it's pretty clear Batman shouldn't murder people. So that's probably why they didn't do it. Jimbo, what do you got?
Shortly after completing the film, Tim Burton said, I like parts of it, but the whole movie is mainly boring to me. It's okay, but it was more of a cultural phenomenon than a great movie.
Oh, that's
sounds like a non-comic book fan would say.
Yeah.
As his pockets are getting filled by all the comic book fans.
Just piles upon piles of cash. Like, it's okay. That's Tim Burton. All right. Grossed $40 million domestically in its opening weekend. Then the biggest opening weekend gross in history, breaking the record set by Ghostbusters 2 1 week prior. It was also the first non-sequel to break the record since Star Trek the Motion Picture. Batman introduced the industry trend of basing film success on opening weekend gross. Wow, I didn't know that.
Michael Keaton came up with the famous line, I'm Batman line. The line in the script was, I am the Knight. Now, I have a question, Kyle.
Yes, Jim, I have answers.
Now, I am getting older.
I've noticed.
I'll admit. My memory is not what it used to be, but it's still better than yours. I remember the scene at the beginning of this where he holds up the guy where he goes, who are you? Where he goes, I want you to tell your friends. I remember him saying, I want you to tell your friends. I want you to tell all your friends. I remember him specifically saying that. Have I lost my mind? Is that a Mandela effect, or is that a different one?
I wouldn't be surprised if that could have been like another like cut of the film in the trailer or something like that, possibly.
Do you ever remember it though?
I don't.
I want you to tell your friends. I want you to tell all your friends.
Like it sounds.
And he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Batman."
It's believable. I see that.
I really thought that was in there. And I watched this. I said, "Wait a minute."
Like my memory is such that if you told me that's exactly how it happened in the film and that's how the film went, I would believe you. So my guess is like if that's not how it went in the actual film, like there must have been a trailer cut or something like that, some kind of alternate.
That or it's in another like Batman Returns or something else. But I thought it was when he's holding that guy off the balcony. But what do I know?
I don't know. Jimbo, you're crazy. That's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Anybody that's friends with you or
yeah. Batman grossed over $1 million domestically every day for 45 consecutive days, most of any DC movies, tied with Wonder Woman. He was also third of most of any movie at that point after E.T. Extraterrestrial, 80 Days, and Ghostbusters.
Peter O'Toole was considered for the Penguin when Tom Mankiewicz was attached. It's crazy that all these people, all these other villains and Robin and all these other people that were going to be in this, that they were like, no, they're not even in the movie anymore. Wait till Batman Returns. The police were called in when 2 reels of footage, about 20 minutes worth, were stolen.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine it being stolen and on the black market today? They would have been like,
yeah, somehow they get serviced.
I wonder if they got it back.
That would be amazing.
Costume designer Bob Ringwood studied over 200 comic book issues for inspiration. 28 sculpted latex designs were created. 25 different cape looks and 6 different heads were made, accumulating a total cost of $250,000. Tim Burton disliked the Prince songs. They were John Peters' ideas. So he's like, nah, I don't even care for that.
Yep. At the time of release, this was the 5th highest grossing film worldwide after E.T. Extraterrestrial, Star Wars The New Hope, Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, and Jaws. All right. Okay, I'm going to go through a little bit of this list here because there's just too many names to nail. Too many names to nail down here. But more than 50 actresses were considered for the role of Vicky Vale. Including some, and let's see here. I'll get Jimbo's opinion on here on some of the names. Jamie Lee Curtis.
No,
I agree. Joanne Cusack.
No.
Gina Davis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Gina Davis went great. Carrie Fisher.
No.
Jodie Foster.
Maybe.
Melanie Griffith.
Yep.
Linda Hamilton.
No.
Daryl Hannah.
Yes.
Daryl Hannah went great. Goldie Hawn.
No.
Diane Keaton.
Maybe. Is she related to Michael Keaton? Because is it like kissing her mother or something? Kissing her brother, sister? I don't.
Yep. Bette Midler.
No.
I would say no. Catherine O'Hara.
Oh yeah, I love Catherine O'Hara.
Ooh, interesting. Molly Ringwald.
No, I can't stand Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, I know you don't like her. Meg Ryan.
Absolutely gorgeous. Loved her.
Yep. Ooh, another good choice. Susan Sarandon. I think that'd be interesting.
I think the problem with her is when she did the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a lot of stuff happened there that she was having trouble getting. I was reading something about she was having trouble finding work and stuff like that. Could she have done it? Probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she would have been the right fit.
Yeah. I'm curious if all these roles would have also demanded they had to blonde their hair too.
Right. That's why I'm picturing.
I can't see Susan Sarandon as a blonde. That kind of throws me off a little bit. And let's see here. We got Elizabeth Shue.
Oh yes,
she
definitely.
Did a great job. A great choice. Sharon Stone.
Oh yeah,
she
definitely
great. Meryl Streep was considered, which I found surprising.
Huh.
Yeah,
she could have hit. You know that I'll tell you this: over the 6 years of doing this podcast, if there's one actress that I've gained respect for by watching her movies, is Meryl Streep, because I used to not like her, but now I think I'm kind of like she's starting to move up my list.
Plus, she's great and only murders in the building.
Yeah, she is.
She's adorable.
You just wait.
Yeah, I know. And then let's see here. Sigourney Weaver was also considered.
No.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver would have been a weird choice. And then lastly, Deborah Winger.
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah Winger, cool. It's interesting there. All right, next fact here. Michael Keaton could barely move in the Batman costume, as the costume materials and technology available during filming in 1988 could not produce the outfit that looked like the hard leather, but actually was flexible. Tim Burton used the limited motions Keaton could make and worked with the editors to create a blurring illusion that he was fighting villains at a high rate of speed. Interesting.
Sylvester Stallone.
No,
you didn't let me finish. He cited that this film is what led to the decline of the muscle-bound action stars from the 80s and a change in how action films were made. In an interview, he said, it was the beginning of a new era. The visuals took over. The special effects became more important than the single person. I wish I had thought of Velcro muscles myself. I didn't have to go to the gym all those years and all those hours led to the iron game, as we call it. So he's basically saying, hey, you can put a rubber suit on. You ain't got to put the work in. So it's more about the costumes and special effects than it is the person these days.
You know,
and it's probably true.
Well, nowadays I feel like we flipped back around again because now it's like specifically like because Stallone and Schwarzenegger, they had like that kind of like that steroid mass to them where they were just absolutely gargantuan human beings. But now like every single DC or Marvel star, they have to go through that Chris Pratt level of like training again to get absolutely ripped in the kind of a more natural looking way. And like even like actors like Ant-Man doesn't need to look strong, but for some reason Paul Rudd had to go get jacked to play Ant-Man. Like, are you kidding me? That's absolutely ridiculous. So that's a weird thing. We're in the kind of the cinematic landscape right now where all these actors need to be like these ridiculous like triathlons.
Early drafts of this script featured Batman's sidekick Robin. The role was offered to Kiefer Sutherland, who was 19 at the time. Sutherland turned down the role, saying he imagined himself wearing yellow tights on the big screen and didn't realize that Tim Burton planned to make the film much darker than Batman. Eventually, the role was reduced to a small cameo by Robin's alter ego, Dick Grayson, and was eventually cut from the film altogether. So,
yeah, Kiefer Sutherland playing Robin. Man, what a weird world that would have been. Because I just think the guy from 24, yeah. Yeah. But
I mean, you got to remember the Lost Boys. It was around this time too, wasn't it?
I never watched Lost Boys, actually.
Oh, Kyle, you have just opened up a whole can. Go back and listen to the episode where I trashed the Lost Boys and they just came after me. That's probably one of the funnest episodes I ever did because they came after me. I mean, you go back and listen. Even Tim Mullins hijacked the intro and made it where they took over and said, "If you do anything, we will come after you. We are the night." And then it goes back to our rate. You have to listen. Go back and listen on your way home.
Go back to it again. I don't think and
then you need to watch it.
Or if I did, then I have no memory of it. Maybe I should watch it sometime. But
wow.
But I never think I'm going to get this.
All right, guys, you know what to do. Kyle's never watched the Lost Boys. Be as hard on him as you were on me.
Hassling him about Lost Boys, and eventually he'll watch it and go like, meh.
In the film, the Joker has to mask his chalk white face by painting himself flesh-colored. In the script, it was specified that the Joker would have to take the flesh-colored makeup off to reveal the white skin underneath, meaning that the makeup effects team had to find a way to take one layer of makeup off and leave another one intact. So basically, you had Nicholson's face, white paint, and then
had to take the paint off and have face. Yeah.
Regular face, white paint, and then painted a normal face over top. So you remember the scene where he's dancing and he does this and the white paint shows up. So you're talking about layers of painting here.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So Nick Dunham came up with a solution. They painted Nicholson with the white PAX paint that they had always used and then put a thin layer of food-grade silicone oil, which nothing sticks to, on top of it. Then they took flesh-covered grease paint and painstakingly painted it to where it was sitting on top of the oils. And then they airbrushed and faded it to make it look like natural. After soaking the Joker's handkerchief in isopropyl alcohol, Nicholson was able to wipe at his face and it would strip off the grease paint but leave the white paint intact. I always wondered how they did that.
That's incredibly impressive.
Based on his success with Superman, Richard Donner was considered to direct. He wanted Mel Gibson to star as Batman. So, Kyle, here we go. You ready for this? Ray Liotta was offered the role of Harvey Dent, Bruce Wayne and Batman, and the Joker, but turned them down to film Goodfellas.
Oh, wow.
Liotta later expressed some regret for the missed opportunities, but considered that Goodfellas made his career, that those regrets were minor.
Yeah, I know, but still, he was in Goodfellas, so it's hard to say no.
The highest grossing Warner Brothers movie ever made up to that point. The record was previously held by another DC Comics film, Superman. Martin Landau turned down the role of Carl Grissom. Future Tim Burton cast members Sir Christopher Lee and Albert Finney were also considered for the role. So
I actually also have some other roles for Carl Grissom too. Leslie Nielsen, Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon.
Yes,
Mel Brooks. And Art Carney were all considered for the role of Carl Grissom. So right there was pretty awesome.
I'd love to see Mel Brooks play the Penguin.
Mel Brooks,
I think it would be great.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. It would have been a laugh riot.
Right. In 1989, Patrick McGlynn, a college student from Richmond, Virginia, won the engine-free prop offered in MTV's promotional Still the Batmobile contest. He intended to loan the prop to local conventions and museums, but he had signed a contract preventing him from profiting off of its exhibition. At one museum, the shift lever was stolen. The car was also taxable and led to an IRS audit. Eventually, due to mounting expenses from a motorcycle accident, and the prize's $10,000 insurance premium, McLean was forced to sell the Batmobile at a sultry sum. Contrary to popular belief, William Dafoe was never officially considered for the Joker outside of a wish list from a writer, Sam Hamm.
He was considered for Batman and Bruce Wayne, though. Which, no.
No, I can't
Considered and then rejected.
He would have been good Harvey Dent.
Yep. The shoes of the Batsuit were actually made by Nike and even had a Nike logo on them, even though the shoes were completely black.
Just do it.
Yep. Michael Keaton was paid $5 million, then the second biggest salary for an actor playing a superhero, after Christopher Reeve, who was paid $6 million for Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Keaton beat Reeve's pay record when he was paid $10 million for Batman Returns.
Kyle, can you imagine if we would have ever gotten the Superman Batman
Crossover film, Michael Keaton, Christopher Reeve.
Oh, can you imagine?
You know,
how much money that would have made?
All of it. It would have made all of it. The Hollywood would have collapsed in on itself as a black hole because it made so much money. I think it would have been. Don't you think it would have made a lot of money? Oh my, yes, of course. It would have been amazing.
I just would have loved to see them interact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Martha, why did you say that name? No, not that version, but a better version.
Yeah. I have big hopes for the future. I'll say that much.
The designers of the Batmobile hadn't taken into account the additional 4 inches that Batman's cowl added to Michael Keaton's height. And as such, the cowl got stuck in the sliding cockpit the first time it was tested.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. So they had to cut down, they had to make a cowl with shorter ears for when he got in the Batmobile.
That's hilarious. Warner Brothers has sold over $750 million of merchandise from this film. I took a look gander at the inflation calculator. That adds up to about $1.9 billion worth of merchandise for the Batman franchise.
I had some of it. I think I still have the comic book.
I think everyone does. I think even I had Batman glasses. And like my dad, I think, bought those and maybe had them in the house because I had Batman stuff all the time when I was a little kid. So I'm sure I had some stuff from that film too. Upon
seeing the initial life-size polystyrene model of the Batmobile, Tim Burton turned to art director Terry Ackland Snow and said, "Great, where's the door?" The design team suddenly realized that the design lacked any doors and inspired the cockpit of the Harrier jump jet. Mm-hmm. Terry came up with the idea of the sliding cockpits. They made the Batmobile design without a door.
It's fantastic. Cesar Romero, who played the original Joker in 1966 TV series, was originally offered the role of Gotham City crime boss Carl Grissom, but turned it down.
Kyle. Mm-hmm. Here's who Richard Donner, when he was approached to direct, here's his cast. Okay, this is the movie you would have had. Are you
Donner
ready?
Batman? Okay.
Yeah. For the title role, Mel Gibson.
We said what we said on that.
For Robin, Michael J. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
William Dafoe for the Joker. And Joe Pesci for the Penguin.
Joe Pesci as the Penguin is adorable.
He would be a foul-mouthed foul.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. You could. Oh my god.
You want to see that movie now, don't you?
You see him jumping up and down, being frustrated as the Penguin. It would have been hilarious.
All right, Kyle.
I would love it.
Now here is some. Since you gave me the Vicky Vale, I'm giving you the role of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Are you ready?
Okay, go for it, Nemo.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, Kurt Russell. I think with great Batman, not as good as Bruce Wayne.
Al Pacino.
No.
Patrick Swayze.
Oh,
I'd love to see it.
Man, I would love to see it too. I don't know how well you do, but I think you would do all right at least.
Mel Gibson, we've already talked about. Tom Cruise. Too short.
Too short, and also too early.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, Cage would. I like the idea of Cage as Superman more than I like the idea of Cage as Batman. That's what I'll say.
Harrison Ford.
Once again, great Bruce Wayne, easy Bruce Wayne tell. I don't know how well he could do as Batman, though.
We talked about Pierce Brosnan. Kevin Spacey.
He aged poorly, obviously, but Kevin Spacey would have been an interesting Bruce Wayne. Can't see him as Batman at all, though.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh. Once again, I could easily see that Bruce Wayne. That Bruce Wayne is easy for me. But Batman, I think... honestly, he has the mass, he has the height for the physicality of Batman. I think he could have done a good job.
Kevin Costner.
I
think Kevin Costner is a great actor, underrated, as I've stated many times.
Kevin Costner's great, and I think he would have done a great job.
Richard Gere.
I
mean, if you're having George Clooney, obviously Richard Gere could play it.
Yeah, like in the alternate universe where we're laughing at this, then I think it actually works a little bit.
Michael Biehn.
Who?
Isn't that
from Aliens?
Yeah.
And Terminator 1. Man, I'm thinking about that, and honestly, that's a kind of an inspired choice. I think. Batman's kind of an easy sell for me on that kind of role, but Bruce Wayne, I think, would be interesting to kind of see him all dressed up. I've not seen him in a more like suit role.
Oh, we talked about Ray Liotta. Tom Hanks. I don't think so. John
Kind of bad
Travolta.
boy. John Travolta. No, what's also too short.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. I need more Sean Penn roles and watch more Sean Penn movies.
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, maybe.
Matthew Broderick.
No.
Sylvester Stallone.
No.
Kevin Kline.
Maybe.
William Hurt.
No.
Mickey Rourke.
No.
Gary Busey. He's not on here, but can you imagine Gary Busey? Bruce Willis.
No.
Charlie Sheen. I think Charlie Sheen probably could have pulled it off.
If he took it seriously, like Charlie Sheen was going through a lot in those years.
Dennis Quaid.
Maybe.
Jeff Bridges.
Ooh, Jeff Bridges could have been really cool. Once again, we're great Bruce Wayne. Don't know about the Batman.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Once again, like I can see the Bruce Wayne, but I can't see the Batman.
This is Mickey Rourke and Jeff Bridges would eventually play villains in Marvel's Iron Man trilogy. So, all right, here's some roles for
that's right.
The Joker.
Okay, Joker roles. Okay.
Kyle, this first one I'm going to say I think would be amazing.
All right.
Tim Curry.
Yes.
As the Joker.
Tim Curry, it does everything perfect.
He plays scary clowns anyway.
Tim Curry's perfect, yeah.
William Dafoe.
No.
David Bowie. Absolutely.
That inspired again.
Jeff Goldblum.
No.
Donald Sutherland.
Maybe.
John Lithgow.
Oh man, John Lithgow. That's a weird choice. No, but
it'd be interesting.
I'm curious, but no.
Brad Dourif.
I don't know who Brad Dourif is. Remind me.
Isn't he the guy that played the guy that goes into Chucky the serial killer? Is that him? Brad Dourif.
That Brad Dourif. Chucky the serial killer. Oh, okay.
I think
maybe.
Robert Englund. I'm the stuff nightmares are made of. Robert De Niro.
No, probably not.
Well, I don't know. He did all right as Two-Face. Could he have pulled off that comedic thing as the Joker? Maybe. Alan Rickman.
Ooh. Man, Alan Rickman. Too British.
Wow. Ray Liotta, of course. John Malkovich.
Ooh, John Malkovich. Once again, curious, but I wouldn't lock it in.
What about Christopher Lloyd?
Oh,
him as the Joker and had Michael J. Fox as the Robin.
Yeah, that would have been a weird movie.
Both Tim Curry would later play and William Dafoe would later play similar role, where Curry played Pennywise and Dafoe played the Green Goblin.
Yeah. I think of Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think of like that kind of idea, with like the Looney Tunes kind of style. That's supposed to get to the Joker.
And last but not least, at one point, Steven Spielberg wanted to make this movie. He was interested.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Here is his vision of the cast.
Okay.
And I think from just the few that I've seen would probably be better than Richard Donner's.
Mm-hmm.
His film was going to include Harrison Ford as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Michael J. Fox as Robin and Dick Grayson. Tim Curry as the Joker.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman as the Penguin. Gina Davis as Silver St. Cloud, the love interest that would have been replaced Vicky Vale. John Pertwee as Alfred Pennyworth. Burt Reynolds as Commissioner Gordon.
Wow.
Martin Sheen as Harvey Dent. And Richard Dreyfuss as Rupert Thorne, the gangster that'd be replaced with Carl Grisman. Pertwee's son, Sean Pertwee, played Alfred on Gotham. So I think that movie would have been interesting.
The further we're in with that cast, the more I'm mad the movie didn't get made, because honestly, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a
But I just don't know if I would have wanted to see Robin in the first official movie. If you did, you'd have to be how he became Robin, which they made in Batman and Robin, when it kind of went back how his parents died in the circus accident.
No, I'm kind of I want to see the film where, and I think James Gunn actually is probably doing this with his next Batman movie. I think they're going to have the film where they start off like, yeah, Batman and Robin are just a thing, and like you have to deal with that, and that'd be okay.
Yeah.
And I think they don't have to deal with the origin stories of those characters anymore. Yeah, because I'm curious. It's like we haven't seen it happen at all. You know, we had a Batman Robin movie that's always in the origin story. I want to see what would happen if you just try to bring him up and like, hey, he's a sidekick. It happens. It's not a big deal, and no one goes into great stuff about that. So I want to see it happen just because I think they could sell it, and James Gunn's probably gonna be the one to do it. So hopefully, I'm excited to see that. Yeah, I understand the complaint though. Robin is a tough sale for live action audiences especially, but he works well in the cartoons. So I'm curious to see how it goes.
All right, Kyle.
Oh, we're there.
We're there.
Finally.
Hour and a half later, we're there. We made it.
Yeah. How do you feel about the film? All right, Jimbo. Well, let me say this. This film isn't perfect. In fact, but at the same time, it sets so much of like what we expect from comic book movies, for basically a generation. Like, this is the thing that like, this was the height of like what a comic book movie could be before the MCU kind of made it what it is now.
Well, it was the first time that since Superman, it was huge.
Yeah. And it proved that, like besides Superman, there could be other comic book heroes having the same kind of success too, and it really kind of opened a lot more doors for granted not movies where it's movies like Darkman and other kind of movies of like the kind of anti-hero hero kind of characters in many respects for the 90s and the early 2000s, and once again also the MCU doesn't exist without the Batman 1989 for sure as well, for better and for worse. Movies like Blade don't exist for this. So that's like its legacy alone kind of gives it like a 9 out of 10 for me. But also it is just kind of an astounding film. It's not a perfect film. It might not even be like the best Batman that I really wanted. But it is really close. Like it's an astoundingly good film in many respects, and I really appreciate it a lot. So I think personally though, I think I'm probably gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. Like it's a great film. It's well worth watching if you're a Batman fan at all. It holds up surprisingly well, and I really do kind of love and appreciate it. And I'm going to give it a strong 8 out of 10 and say this is just a de facto great film worth watching. Every performance is good, and I really appreciate it on that level. And its legacy is astounding, and also just a box office smash. Like its cultural impact was huge, and can still be felt today for many reasons. So I really appreciate this film. So yeah, I'm going to say strong 8 out of 10, and I'm going to leave it there. Jimbo, how do you feel about this film?
Well, Kyle, being a comic book fan and a movie fan, and I've always liked the Batman 66 TV show. Superman has always been my favorite superhero, okay? But I think Batman has the best villains. And I will stand by that till I die.
Yeah.
And then people's like, well, what about Spider-Man? Sinister. I don't care about them.
Just
because
Spider-Man's
Batman has Joker, and the Joker is the greatest villain of all time. But I love Catwoman, I love Joker, I love Penguin, and I love Riddler. I love all of them and everything they did. But as a kid, and you go to the theater and you see this for the first time, I mean, it is upgraded from the 66 Batman. It's darker. It's the utility belt, the gruff voice. I mean, this is what every kid wanted to do when growing up. You had the action figures, you had the Batwing, you had Bob with the sidekick action kung fu
Bob
kicks.
the Goo. Everyone wants to be Bob the Goo.
Right.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was a culture phenomenon because you had Prince involved and you had the soundtrack, you had all this, and look what spawned from it: Batman the Animated Series. Well, probably one of the greatest cartoons of all time.
Oh yeah, up there for sure.
Definitely,
just best cartoon.
And
in general,
it's the villains that make that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So with all that taken into consideration, my childhood, my love for comics and everything, I'm giving this a 9 out of a 10. I think Michael Keaton's performance in this, he is the best combo of Batman and Bruce Wayne. Close second would be Christian Bale. He did a really good job, both two. Jack Nicholson's performance in this is what made the way for Heath Ledger's Joker. And Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah.
Cesar Romero, I would have loved to have more of him because I think he's an outstanding Joker too. He played that role so great.
Yeah.
But Jack Nicholson plays the Joker so well, and he's just so off the cuff and crazy in this. I like that about him. He's more goofy in this movie than Heath Ledger's was more serious.
Yeah.
But I really like that. And as a kid, that's all you could ask for. So there you have it. that is our 6th anniversary show wrap up. If you like what you heard, you want to leave us a review, we will read it on the air. While Kyle has, maybe I'll have Kyle just call in and record the reviews that we get, so that way he's still part of the podcast.
Yeah.
And if you want Kyle to watch The Lost Boys, make sure you hammer him on Facebook like you did me all those years. You need to listen on the way home. It's really cool. I had people write in. And
what if you find out like I lied and said like, oh yeah, I love The Lost Boys.
And Kyle's like, oh, that's what this movie is.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow us, we are the Tragedy of Cinema podcast on Facebook. Email us at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. So be on the lookout for more in the future. And with that being said, I think this 6th anniversary episode's coming to close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most. To the tales we love the most.
Boom, Zaga.
I can't fire you for a few more episodes.